All right. What's up, y'all? Will here with Fly, and this is the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast brought to you by us here at Schedulefly. Super simple, web-based restaurant employee scheduling software backed by legendary human customer service, and all at a very affordable price. If you are on pencil and paper or Excel, or you don't have a scheduling software in your hospitality business, we have a 30-day free trial. No questions asked, no BS. We're not even going to get your credit card on the front end. Go to schedulefly.com, click free trial, give it a shot. We will make life easier for your owner, help you project your labor costs, for your manager, time savings on creating schedules, and all of the changes that happen all throughout the week once you have a schedule posted. And also for your teammates. They want their schedule at their fingertips. They want it to integrate with their personal schedule, their personal calendar. They want to be able to have flexibility to offer up shifts and do shift trades without having to call a bunch of people. So just streamlines everything, makes life easier. There are over 100,000 restaurants and hospitality businesses still on paper and Excel. I would encourage you, if you are, at least, just give us a try. It may work out for you. Maybe it doesn't. We don't have any high pressure salespeople, so we're here to help if you need it. If you are on another scheduling platform, you might be happy. You might also notice that their cost prices keep going up, and they're trying to cross sell and upsell. And we have a simple platform, and we've had the same price since we started the business in 2007. So we'd love an opportunity to earn your business as well. Go to schedulefly.com. Check us out. There's a video on there. My personal cell phone number is in that video. So watch that video. If you want to call me or talk to me, my personal number is there. It brings this phone, which is a flip phone. And I am happy to talk to you anytime about Schedulefly. All right, enough about that. So let's get to Restaurant Owners Uncorked episode. Oh gosh, we're somewhere around 670 maybe right now. And what a great opportunity. Ari, thank you for taking the time to come on here and share your story of Easy Breezy. I can't wait to hear the whole story, but take a minute and just introduce yourself.
My name's Ari Ford. I'm based out of San Francisco Bay Area. I live in the city. I have 6 stores in the Bay Area, soon to be 8. And we specialize in premium frozen yogurt, custard, and vegan soft serve in a self-serve format. We've been in operation for we just had our 14-year birthday. I think we're about 7 years to the Schedulefly platform. I'm not sure how, that's it in a nutshell.
That's it. So, okay, 2 more on the way, 14 years in business. Congratulations. No easy task. A lot I want to ask you about how you differentiate in the competitive market. I mean, there's 1,000 things I want to ask you about, but the one thing I always ask everybody is just tell your backstory about, how and when you initially got started into hospitality. Like when did I always say like the hospitality bug bit you at some point. So what is your backstory?
Well, growing up, my mom was always in hospitality. She ran a catering business. She still runs a catering business. So I was always exposed to it, and I was sure I would never go into it. And I went to college. I went to graduate school. Coming out of graduate school, living in the San Francisco Bay Area, I got right into tech. That's where all the jobs and money and interesting people were, and for the most part are. And I was 15 years in tech. I started as building websites. I left that company, and I actually have been an entrepreneur since I was 28 years old. I had 2 tech startups. One succeeded, one failed. We raised millions of venture financing. In one case, made it back. In the other case, lost it all. And a few consulting gigs in between. But after about 15 years in tech, I started to notice that people aren't very nice online. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. And I really wanted to get out of technology. My education was actually in geology, a very hands-on study. And I just fell into tech because of where I lived and because of just so much that opportunity that was happening in the early 90s, mid 90s, stayed there for a long time. But I made a career pivot and I got out. I'd been thinking about the frozen yogurt industry for a long time and really felt like no one was doing it right. Mostly when you go to frozen yogurt shops, it's a pre-mixed, pre-sweetened, yogurt base that's poured out of a carton into the back of a questionably maintained machine. And toppings bars are dirty, the lighting's bad, the store decor is bad, and I just wanted to do a more premium take on frozen yogurt. So I looked at the space. I mean, I've been thinking about it for years. I really did a deep dive into the space for about 10 months. I visited probably 40 yogurt operators in my 60-mile radius, looked at what everybody was doing right, what they were doing wrong, what I thought worked, what I thought didn't, what machines are they using, what toppings, how are they doing their flavors, what are the things. I would sit with my little people clicker sometimes across the street. I'd watch how many people were walking in and out to get a sense of how many customers per hour. I still do that when I'm determining if a new lease is suitable for us. And then it was just one of these kismet moments. I was driving down a cute shopping corridor near my house. And it was just one of those moments, and the reggae music's playing on the radio, and the sun is just shining directly on the perfect spot with the for lease sign in the window. I made a call and I put in a letter, an LOI to lease the space. And within a month, I was in lease. And that was 14 years ago, and it's been going really well ever since. Been opening about one shop every 2 years. We're privately held, and I use the profits of the business to open the new business. Takes me about 2 years to collect enough profit to open a new business. But we're cash flow positive and profitable from day one. So if I can just get enough money to open the new shop, as soon as that shop's open, yeah, sometimes it takes a little longer than others, but they do eventually hit their stride. Made a couple mistakes. I had to close one shop at one point and move that. So there's been bumps in the road along the way. But really, it was that segue from out of technology and into a real brick and mortar that was my big shift to hospitality. And it was interesting coming out of tech because everything is intellectual property and vaporware. And it was just owning a yogurt shop. I know exactly how many chocolate chips and cups I have in inventory, and how many bananas I need to order this week and how many I used last week. And it was just a much easier business to wrap my arms around coming out of tech, where there's just a lot of guesswork. If you don't like your yogurt, here's your $5 back with no professional services attached to it. So in that way, it was a much easier business to wrap my arms around. But hospitality is 7 days a week. I wake up in the morning to a flood of texts because I go to bed early and wake up early, and everything that happened while I fell asleep last night. And there's a plumbing problem here, and people saw ants over here, and this yogurt machine's broken, and we're out of mochi. It's nonstop. It is absolutely nonstop. But I love it, and I love bringing people happiness. People love what we do. Um, we cater primarily to kids. I mean, we serve everybody from age 2 to age 82, but we really market our product towards children. Our stores are set up for children. We want it to be a safe place for kids to be. Kids never come in alone. They always bring their parents and caregivers and brothers and sisters and friends with them. But if we're making the kids happy, we're making the family happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, yes, it is a 24/7, 365 thing, and I do want to get into that, but you quickly pivoted to, but I love it. I love making people happy. I feel like that is the common thread across all the people I've spoken to on this podcast that have successful hospitality businesses and love what they do. It really always comes back to that. It comes back to I really enjoy bringing joy to my customers' daily lives. I enjoy coaching and training employees and helping them grow. I mean, obviously, your employees have opportunities to grow with you. You're a growing business. You're adding new locations. Eventually, you go from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. You've got people that have to have responsibility for managing locations and probably multiple locations. And then you get in. So it's a wonderful thing to be a part of a growing business. But I do think that it's very rare that anybody comes on. I'd say it's literally never happened in 16 years that somebody comes on here and they talk about, it's worth it because I do it for the money. I mean, the money's the got to be the byproduct of all this, but it's Ari, people like you and your peers in this wonderful world of hospitality do it because of passion and love and emotion and attachment to their community, attachment to the guests that they get to serve. And, something you've identified, as I was telling you, I read on your website. Um, I love this line: nostalgic Americana in the neighborhood. We are, gosh, we're sorely lacking that. We need that now. We're looking for that now. Even our kids are looking for that now. I mean,
Yeah.
my kids are 22, 19, and 16, and, they watch, what was that show? But, shows that take place in the 80s, like they're, and here
Right.
they are.
Right.
And you identified this a long time ago. I mean, 14 years ago, maybe we weren't so dialed into our screens and attached to our screens 24/7, but we are now. And that is something that we all kind of recognize. Hard to unwind from that, but we do want a place in our neighborhood that's local, that feels like, we matter when we go there,
Hmm.
and that it's not some, well, one of our customers said recently, he talked about the homogenization of America. And not to say there's anything wrong with like big brands that have thousands of locations and all that, but like when that's all you have, there's just something lacking
Right.
a lot of
Right.
times. And
Right.
I think you've captured that with what you're doing.
People, we're something that AI will never replace.
Right.
People want that space. We work, we go to school, we're home. It's that idea of that third space, that place where you can go, that you connect with your community, that you connect with people around you. We're really inspired by the Midwestern Shake Shack, where, the person's standing inside and hands you your cone or your milkshake. And then the community's gathered around that shack, sharing good times, bumping into one another. We're very inspired by that. And actually, we design our stores with that in mind. We kind of try to make the inside look like outside. I don't, you can see behind me, this is supposed to look like the side of a building that you would lean against. Yeah. And we had 80% repeat business. We can tell from our credit card transactions. So it's really those people that are coming back time and time again that is our bread and butter that keep us alive. Once people come in, people come for the product, they come back for the experience. And that's what I tell, whenever I'm hiring and I'm doing training with my staff, I'm always talking about that. We're a successful business. It's 49% the product, it's 51% the in-store experience. And that really comes down to you guys. And there's no secret sauce there, right? You've got to treat your people right. You've got to treat your staff right. And the longer I do this, the more I realize that is really the linchpin. That if I'm taking care of my staff, then my staff will take care of one another. And if my staff's taking care of one another, because customer service just rolls right on out front to the dining area, right? People, you want to be there. Your friends want to be there. Your family want to be there. You feel taken care of. I always have your back. I always tell them that I. According to you, the customer's always right. According to me, you're always right. If I get a customer complaint, I'm never going to talk to the customer before I hear your side of the story first. They have to feel like I have their back, whether it comes to scheduling, maybe it's a cash advance, maybe it's their sister wants a job. There's so many different ways that we could take care of our staff beyond just money. Um, and that's what, as the years go by, the more I put into my staff, into staff development. Everybody that works for me started as a 17-year-old cashier. The person who manages our HR and scheduling, the person who's my operations manager, who does all our maintenance, my GM, purchaser buyer, all these people started behind the register at age 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. Um, Investing a lot in your staff, training them, bringing them up, making them feel valuable, listening to their opinions, listening to them when they're upset about something. And the more if I don't even think about my customers and I'm just thinking about that, then I can count on them to think about my customers. And the
Mm.
customers feel it. And they love it. The regulars come. Oh, hi. How did the soccer game go last? Oh, happy birthday. Or did she say yes to prom? There's just so much of that going on in all of our stores all the time. And that's what people come for. We don't offer Wi-Fi in our stores. You can sit at Easy Breezy all day, but we don't want people in front of their laptops. We have all the seating facing in towards one another. There's always outdoor seating. There's diaper changing stations in the bathroom, and there's places to park your strollers and your suitors and tie up your dog right out in front. Outside is very much a part of the inside, and we look for spaces that we can really accommodate those kinds of behaviors.
Oh, wow. Okay. I love this. First of all, that's great that you don't have Wi-Fi. That there's so many places that we go now where um, people just sit and they just work, and there's just no there's no community involved with that. So you're gently nudging people towards that.
That's right. There's so many
Yeah,
subtle things you can do, right? You
right.
don't say, there's no Wi-Fi here. You just kind of don't have it. And there's big benches and the benches, it's all kind of communal seating. So you're just kind of forced to talk to one another. And
Yeah, that's great. Well, okay, so you started you said 2014. Is that right?
2012, we just had our 14-year birthday. Yeah.
Your birthday, 2012.
2012. Yeah.
Okay. And so you've had a keen eye towards making sure you're not growing too fast. You're using the profits from the business, location one, to go to location two. You got two more on the way. Um, when are those opening, by the way?
Rockridge will open probably December. And then we're just finalizing a lease for another spot in San Francisco. So my guess is early spring next year.
How far are you able to easily travel to all these locations?
I put about $25,000, 25,000 miles a year on my car. I drive a lot.
Yeah.
They're all like, I don't do everything's within an hour radius of my home, but not from one another. So I do visit all the shops multiple times a week, at different times. It's good that my staff doesn't always know when I'm coming in, but I do a lot of driving. I do a lot of driving. Look, I could run this business and not come to these places, but the business would run differently. And I do have a GM, and on days that I'm not at one shop, she's at that one shop. Maybe she's dropping something off, or we're doing a transfer, or somebody needs to be paid. There's some reason for one or both of us to be at all the shops multiple times a week.
Okay. Um,
That doesn't scale, right? If I want to expand and start growing
that's what I was
regionally,
going to.
nationally, it
Yeah.
doesn't scale. It doesn't scale. But so now as I'm especially now, I've never opened two shops at once before. This is a big move for me. So my GM is now taking on more and more responsibility. I'm going to pay her more, but I'll need to have a regional or a GM in every area if I really do continue to expand like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the tricky piece, right? Like you, how do you, and what are your plans? I mean, do you think, like, do you eventually want to have 50 of these or 100 of these, or what's the goal, or is there one? Are you just going to just kind of keep going one year at a time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of the feeling if you're not growing, you're dying. Um, and so far, this is what it's been. Um, I have my youngest son is still in high school, so I'm not sorry. This is our fruit delivery coming in, so that's loud. Um, Day in the life. What can I tell you?
No,
Uh,
it's good. I mean, I actually can't hear it, so no worries.
okay, good. So my youngest son is still in high school, so for me to expand anywhere beyond an hour radius of my house is not going to happen until he's out of the house because my family comes first. Um, but yeah, I would like to take right now I'm in the Northern California area. I would like to take my brand to Southern California. That seems like the next obvious step. And in order for me to do that, I would need to move down there for a couple of years, at least to start, right? To find those right leases, to find the correct management. Um, but I'd like to do that. Obviously, I'd like to prove to myself and to anybody who may be interested in the business that like it proves regionality, right? Like that's great that we work in expensive food centric San Francisco Bay Area. How does this work in Orange County or the Southern Beaches or in LA County? And can I, as an operator, prove that I can run multiple regions and still have that brand extend in the way that it's made it so popular? And so that's something I would like to challenge myself to do. I'd like to prove that to myself. And as I build value in the business, whether it's to hand it over to my children or to sell it, either way, proving that regionality is the next step. But my guess is it wouldn't be for another 2 or 3 years, after my kids are out of the house.
Okay. And when you open a new location, how do you create buzz and spread the word and, let people know what you're doing? And like, do you have any specific strategies you use for that? Social media or other tools that you use to try to get people fired up
I don't,
about
you're not going
things?
to like this answer, but I don't.
Okay.
I
No, I
love
do. I love that answer.
soft opening. I just
Okay.
opened my doors one day. There's no announcement, and there's a few reasons for that. When we open a new store, invariably one of the machines, the belt is too tight or the window is broken here. There's always trouble. So if we have this grand opening and we're dealing with all these customers and balloons and people and press coming in at the same time. We're just working the kinks out of a new store. It's not going to go well. Plus, I have a new staff. I want to ease them into it. And my experience over time is that spending money and social media and ads, it just ultimately doesn't sell more yogurt. What sells more yogurt is a consistent product day in, day out. And I've noticed in San Francisco, when we open the shops, they pick up pretty quickly because there's so much foot traffic. We tend to open near schools and near public transport. In the suburbs, it takes a little longer. It's about 2 years for stores to hit their stride. And I was at about a year and 9 months, and I've done this every time now. I'm like, I don't think it's going to make it. I think I'm going to have to close this store. Year 9 months, year 10 months, right at that 2-year mark is when it really starts to hit its stride, because we have a lot of repeat business. So if I can just get people in the door, they're going to come back. So when we first open, it's a soft opening on a Tuesday in the middle of winter, and we just open our doors, and whoever happens to walk by comes by. Those people come, they're going to come back. Those people will tell their friends. I don't spend a lot of money on advertising. What I do is community outreach. And what that looks like is I'll reach out to schools, and I'll invite all of their second graders to come in and do a tour of Easy Breezy in the morning before school starts as part of their career week or their field trips. So I do a lot of that work where I'm bringing kids in. It's a chance for me to expose the business to them, for them to also see what a working business looks like. Once they come in, they're asking their parents to come back. I do spend money, sponsoring local soccer leagues and youth baseball teams, a lot of like local school sports stuff. We have our names on the t-shirts and on their calendars and whatever it is. So that's where I spend my marketing dollars, is locally in the community, because that word of mouth is way more powerful than all the Facebook ads put together.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely. Well, look, to rely on that, you've got to have a great product, and you have to have
That's
great
right.
delivery of that product.
That's right.
And
And a great in-store experience.
a great in-store experience.
And that's everything. That's from the lighting to the music to the cleanliness, to the attitude of my staff.
Well,
To my staff.
break that down,
That-
Art, because the attitude of your staff is something I'm always curious about. You've got
Right.
17-year-olds coming in there as cashiers. You talk about taking great care of your team. But what are some of the specific things you do to motivate 17-year-old teenagers to actually care about your business? It's
Right.
your baby. Like, of course
It
you
is.
care about it. You love it. You have birthed this thing, and it matters so intensely much to you. But to a
Right.
17-year-old who's like, I just want a job. I just want to
Right.
money.
Well,
How
now
do
that we've
you?
been open a while, especially in San Francisco, where original stores are, we have a reputation. People hear that it's a good place to work. They've been coming to us since they were little. A lot of kids have grown up with the brand at this point, so they have an attachment to the brand. So that's always a great build-in. But we're also really careful about who we hire. There's a couple questions I always ask. My GM just took over training from me. It was actually one of the last pieces I let go of. But we ask certain questions in the interview process, and are looking for a certain personality type, because anybody can learn to make yogurt. I'm looking for a smile. I'm looking for a work ethic. And we tend to hire brothers and sisters, friend groups. We just hired, somebody that works down here in Los Gatos. We're about to hire her mom. We hire aunts and uncles. So there's a lot of accountability. If you're working and you get your girlfriend a job, or you get your best friend a job, or your brother a job, and they start working, they're not going to be late to the shift, because it's going to make you look bad. So we found that to be very effective. Whenever we're doing hiring, I turn to my staff first and say, we're looking for referrals. During training. So we bring people in pretty young, but we have people stay with us through all high school and through a lot of. If they go to college locally, they'll continue to work for us. If they don't, they'll come home on summer breaks. Once you work at Easy Breezy, you always work at Easy Breezy. So they'll come home and pick up shifts over summer breaks and winter breaks. And so I'll have my more senior staff train up my younger staff. work with them, shadow them, get the lowdown from them. And people that are working for me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years know how much I do take care of my staff. There's so many little ways to take care of them, whether it's making sure their parking is covered. I offer health insurance. So if you have health insurance with our company, you're gonna, you feel invested. You know that we're investing in you, and so it's important to have those more senior staff members train the younger people as they come in. But that combination of things, and I really do try and hire people who need the work. If you're somebody who wants a summer job, but you're gone a lot, and in the winter you're going skiing all the time with your family, that's great, but that's not great for me. So I do look for people who value the job, who need the job, who need the work, and are happy to be working in a workplace that doesn't take advantage of them, that they feel supported. Um, yeah, and then that builds, right? So then we get a reputation as a good place to work, so then people are coming to us and asking for work. We don't hire for summer only. We put too much into training and our staff in general. I do an advanced training session individually with every new hire. I sit down with them. I talk about the birth of the business, the kind of the ethos of the business, all the little nuances that you wouldn't get in the first maybe month of working there. So we invest a lot. I don't fire people. We have fired people, of course, but we do a warning and a training, another warning, another retraining. It's the best possible outcome is to take somebody who's not doing something right and work them into a place where they're doing it correctly. And the rest of the staff sees that. So people aren't scared for their job. If you're getting notes, it's because we're building you up. We want you to be doing better. And so people see that and they know that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like your turnover must be really low compared to industry averages.
It is. It
Do
is.
you, um, it was interesting because you came in to the industry that was, especially back then. There were a lot of national yogurt brands. Some of them have fizzled out. Some of them have, there's still some that are around, but you had all these different brands for a
Yeah,
while that
nobody was doing it right. You walk into these places and lighting and the tile work looks like you're about to go into surgery or you're like in a bathroom show place, I wanted nice, calm lighting and it has to be like a comfortable place for you to be. And ultimately their product is not that good. Like when we're running strawberry, we're putting fresh organic strawberries into yogurt and that's our strawberry. Well, we're running for running, we were running sea salt caramel turtle, right? I'm importing caramel paste from Italy. We're using Dutch processed delicious unsweetened cocoa powder and sea salt. We do mint mojito. We're hand squeezing limes and fresh grating ginger. And, tomorrow we start mint chippy and fresh mint leaves into organic coconut milk with dark chocolate chips. So we're really
Mm,
focused. I mean, ultimately, if the product's not good, if the service is great, but the product's bad, you're not going to be coming in again. So we
yeah.
have to have a great product. And that's, I think, what all of these places got wrong. Um, TCBY and Menchie's and Yogurtland and all these places, it's all a syrup sweetened product that's pre-mixed in a carton that's dumped in the back. So I work with a dairy in Southern California. We have all of our own formulations of custard, yogurt based, cashew milk, coconut milk. We get pallets of that shipped up to a cold storage, and then we're distributing those to each of the shops every couple days. And then we take that and in store every couple hours, we're mixing up fresh batches. So if you are getting mint mojito, it is fresh mint and fresh limes into the yogurt. So that product difference. Plus, we really specialize in vegan. Vegan is a big and growing category. But when we opened, we didn't have any vegan offerings. Now we have 2, if not 3 vegan flavors running at all times. That's a big differentiator for us. And we're not just good for vegan, we're just good. Our sea salt caramel turtle this week is on cashew milk. We'll run caramel corn. We're running banana custard, vegan tart. We're running really, really decadent flavors on the vegan basis. And that's a big draw for us as well. Really big draw. On our toppings bar, we're labeling everything gluten-free, if it's vegan, what allergens it has. People really appreciate that in this day and age. That's not something you're getting at these mid-tier yogurt shops. I'll tell you something else though. We're the most expensive yogurt place out there. I mean, we're like
I
the
bet you
Apple
are.
store of yogurt, right? You don't walk into Apple, this is so expensive. No, you're walking in because you're getting a premium product. We also import our machines from Italy, these machines that are the Italians just do it right, and it's the change in the mouthfeel. Our staff has to be trained on exactly how to set all the different viscosities for different flavors, all the sheath tubes, and how you really create that creamy texture. It doesn't just happen. Hard pack ice cream, you're just scooping out of a tub. That's not what we're doing here. We have soft serve machines. You have to disassemble them down to the very last O-ring twice a week. We're starting these flavors every Friday. So there's a real process in the kitchen that goes into it. And you don't know that's why it tastes so good, but all that's going into it. So when it comes out of the machine into your cup, you do taste that quality. You do taste the difference when you're comparing it, when you line it up next to any other soft serve you've had out there. So we kind of came in at the end of the big froyo wave that went from maybe 2010 to 2012. We were just at the tail end of it. Some of these shops are going out of business. We came in with a much superior product. Then froyo really died off for a long time, but it's one of those things that people always want froyo. Um, the maintenance of our yogurt machines is really the moat around our business. There's every shop has 4 machines, and it's like owning 4 Italian sports cars. And then belt goes out, and the refrigerant is leaking, and the handle isn't working. We're constantly maintaining and fine tuning these machines. We always have one in the shop being detailed. Once we've run through all the machines, we're starting again. So they take a lot of maintenance. So it's not easy to open a frozen yogurt shop like it is to just open a hard pack ice cream store. So that's definitely a big differentiator for us. But now frozen yogurt this year is starting to have kind of a comeback. And, the Greek yogurt flavors are really popular. And people are coming in and asking why we're not doing this or that, the other. And I really try not to follow trends. I really just try. I do follow flavor trends. But in terms of product trends, I just really try and stay true and focus to what we do. We don't serve coffee. We're not doing soup. We're not doing smoothies. We just do soft serve. We do this one thing, and we do it really, really, really well.
Really, really well. So this is not, so your equipment, you've got these machines that have come in. You mentioned the equipment that a lot of these national brands have. And um, so you've got high-end equipment, expensive to maintain, but helps create a better product. You've got fresh, natural, organic, like you've got your ingredients are all dialed in. I feel like there is certainly a lot more awareness now than there was when you first started about what we're putting in our bodies. And people, I think, generally speaking, are more inclined to be willing to spend a little bit more if they know they're getting something that is fresh and that is
That's right.
natural and that is organic and that is local. Um, and particularly where you are, right? You're in California. California tends to be on the bleeding edge of health, fitness, all this.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
so I I wonder, as over the last few years, as real estate has gone up, labor costs have gone up, raw material costs have gone
Tariffs,
up.
all of it. Yeah.
How have you seen the consumer change their buying behavior? You said that 80% of your customers are repeat because you have the credit card data. Oh, and by the way, one more thing to mention. Um, One thing you don't have to worry about is the decline in alcohol sales, so that's good. But then
Right.
what you I wonder about, and this is obviously not an issue with kids, thank God, but you do have a lot of people on these GLP-1s now, and they're eating less or they're
Right.
carrying or just talk about this a little bit and what's changed in your business with the changes in, just sort of like the economy and the overall inflationary climate we've had over the last.
Definitely everything's getting everything gets more
Yeah,
expensive. And I try and just raise our price once every 2 years, and I'll just do a big jump so I don't have to touch it again for 2 years. But there's always gonna be sticker shock, and we also have a product that's not too hard to give away for free. If someone comes in, they don't have enough money, we got you, don't worry about it. You give it to us next time. You probably grabbed too much in your cup, you didn't realize how much you were gonna get. So, we really try and I give my staff a lot of kind of looseness around that and being able to comp customers. But we definitely prices have gone up, our prices increase. The changes in I mean, kids aren't on GLPs. Kids are always going to ask for the stuff. Kids are always coming in and wanting it.
yeah.
The changes I've seen is people just really needing to know, is it gluten free? Is it dairy free? Is it vegan? What are the
Mm.
ingredients? So really having our nutritional facts of course, on our website, posted in the stores, on a clipboard behind the register, making sure my staff knows everything that goes into everything. I mean, all of our flavors, if we're running banana custard, it's banana and custard, there. So we're not embarrassed to show our recipes and show our ingredients, but making sure my staff knows how to describe our flavors. Really being a lot more careful about calling out on our flavor boards what's gluten-free, what's vegan, what's low fat, if there's certain allergens in it, contains sodium caseinate, contains ginger. I don't know if people are more aware of food allergies, but it certainly is the last few years in particular, people really, really need to know. So we've been really trying to bring a lot more awareness to labeling. And people say that, like, I'm so happy. I love how you guys label this stuff. I'm so glad that you say this. I love how you always have these vegan flavors. I mean, vegan is just big and growing. The city stores have 2 vegans down in the suburb stores with 3 vegan flavors going all the time. And I'll increase that if the customer demand is there. Our number one seller is still vanilla custard, just for the record.
Is it really?
Full fat, made with buttermilk, egg yolk whipped in, full dairy. That's our number one. That's our number one seller for sure. That may change, we'll change with the times, but that's always been our number one seller.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Huh.
We don't have sugar-free. We don't use additives. I've worked very closely with my dairy to not even have corn syrup on our bases. We have sugar. This is a treat. This is a break from your life. This is a 20-minute break with your family,
Yeah.
indulgence, dessert, reward, however you want to think about it. But we're not purporting to be anything but a sweet treat.
Okay. Interesting. Good. People need that. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're willing to pay for it. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. You taste it. You come here, you go to another shop, you're going to be back for Easy Breezy.
You mentioned I think you said you've closed one location.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. My format is moving close to schools. We have 2 big times a day the after school rush and the after dinner rush. And I made the mistake of moving into a place that I knew would have a big after dinner rush, which it did, but it didn't have that after school rush. And that after dinner rush turned into a bar rush. And I found myself hiring security on big. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm at the yogurt shop and I'm hiring security. I might be in the wrong place. And we weren't getting that after school rush either. And that's when, there was a lot of foot traffic, but there wasn't a lot of families. And I thought it wouldn't matter because there was so much foot traffic, and there was, but it's just that's not our brand. That's not our format. That's not the way our flavors or our store design or anything else is gearing up. So now I really make sure to be near walking distance from schools and, just to get that after dinner rush or after school rush as well as the after dinner rush. That after school rush is really just half our business.
Gotcha. Okay.
And real estate's such a big part of it, right? Like we always like to be on the sunny side of the street because if you're sitting outside, you want to be in the sun while you're having your sweet treat, not in the shade. All those little things make a difference. So, I have my eye on every shopping corridor in my area, and okay, so each shopping corridor, maybe there's 3 good blocks. Okay, I only want to be on one side of them. All right, we've just narrowed that down by half. Within there, only so many are food use, only so many are, 1,400 square feet or less. It starts narrowing down the possibilities pretty quickly. So I know, and I'm always watching those corridors. I know the sites that would work for us, and then I got to be ready when one of those comes up.
How long was that location open that you closed?
It's 2.5 years.
Okay, so
I definitely have to give a shop 2 years before I make a final call, but that was 2.5 years. And somebody made an offer to buy it out because it is in a hot area. It's certainly, but it'd be better as a bar or a pizza joint for after drinking. It wasn't our format. And you learn these lessons the hard, expensive way. I won't do that again.
My grandfather used to say the best wit is bought wit.
Yeah.
And then he'd say, as long as you didn't pay too much for it. But, that's how you learn and get better and grow. So
that's right. And people told me that, but it's like, I just somehow had to figure that out on my own.
Oh, I do it all the time.
But, it's like, gotta learn the hard way sometimes.
You have to. It's good. It's healthy because you don't really know until you know, and you haven't, like that's a good thing. The question is not like, what happens when you have a problem in the business. It's like, how do you respond and learn and grow and get
Right.
right?
So little happens these days that haven't happened before. But, this idea of bought wit, that's something I think about with my staff too. Like sometimes I will let them make the mistakes I already know they're going to make. Like I'll let them walk into it and make that mistake because I'd rather them make that mistake and learn the hard way, right? I tell people, you really only want to make 3 gallons at a time because as soon as you're making four more, it gets a lot heavier to pull up and pour in there. And I'll let them do it and let them do the spill and have to clean up that spill because you won't do that again. Right. That's just little stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's things you're not going to let your staff do. It's too expensive for the business. There's too much risk. But for these smaller mistakes, I'll let them make them. I'll let them walk right into the trap because that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. Okay, yeah. You mentioned that you will sometimes, like maybe you'll comp the customer or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
one of the things, do you have a loyalty program or anything like that?
We do. We have a
Who?
physical gift card because the kids love to have a card.
Okay,
And then we have, here, I can show it to you. And,
but how do you like? Who runs
so
that?
we stamp that out. We just do this on our own. I
Oh,
mean, we
you just
account every
do.
time once you fill out 10 of those, we stamp it, then you can exchange it for a free one. We also have the same thing as a loyalty. We have a loyalty one. It's like an online one as well, but these are way more popular because we have so many kids. They walk around with this in their wallet. There's something about the physicality of it, and you get 10 stamps, and we use fun different shapes to stamp them out. And you come in and you're ready with your free yogurt. Um, so we have that. We also have that same thing online. We have little promotions. Thursday nights, we'll have, buy one, get one free for our outgoing flavors. If you come in, kids 14 and under, if they build our Easy Breezy character with Lego, they get a free yogurt. Kids get a free yogurt on their birthday. If you're wearing an Easy Breezy shirt, you get 10% off. Um, we do a lot of partnering with the local schools. Like right now, two of the bookstores nearby are running Where's Waldo. So they come in and we hide Waldo and they look for Waldo and they get a discount on their yogurt. So we do a lot of stuff like that.
Well, the reason I asked that is, so you do have a digital loyalty program too.
We do.
Who
Yeah.
is that through?
A guy named Loyalty Apps. It's a
Loyalty apps.
They do bespoke. Yeah, he's done a lot for us actually. He's great. I'd like to get a shout out to Owen at Loyalty Apps. It's loyalty-apps.com.
Okay.
He made a game.
Yeah.
He made a game. We had like an Easy Breezy Rush, like a little game. If you win that, you get a free yogurt. But he put together a nice app for us that links to our website. So as when I refresh flavors on the website, it refreshes on the app, and it also has like the digital version of our loyalty program. So buy 10, get one free.
Um, I'm curious about this because it's something that I'd be curious your thoughts on this. Ari, you seem to be somebody that might um might like this idea. I have this big inclination to try to figure out how to get the pay it forward idea into more places. So I went to a coffee shop. They had a pay it forward board. If you wanted to give them money, you could write down how much money you like. Let's say I give $5. I can write $5 on the chalkboard and then I can give it to anybody, or I could say it's for an on duty police officer or a mom with a stroller or whatever. But then that's, they're taking that money and then they're using it on somebody who comes in. If it says mom with stroller, then a mom with a stroller comes in, they could say, hey, would you like,
That's
to you?
cute.
Yeah.
That's
And
super
so
cute.
I really like the idea of paying it forward. Um, and I've been trying to figure out different ways to, like, there's a point of sale company I was talking to about this, like through their loyalty program. It's like, what if, because I actually, and I go to a coffee shop here, I live in Waxhaw, North Carolina, just south of Charlotte. And I go to this coffee shop, and when I go there, I use the same card, and every time I get to 50 points, they give me $5. And if I want to use the $5,
Hmm.
I can apply it to my order. What I think would be really cool is if the option where, do you want to use this for yourself or do you want to pay it forward? Oh, well, what do you mean pay it forward? Well, if you pay it forward, then we hold on to that, and then we will use that to somebody that seems like maybe they could, maybe it's somebody that looks like she's having a hard day, or maybe it's somebody, whatever it is, we have an opportunity to pay that forward to apply that towards their order. I
That's
just think
cute. I
that's
mean, it has to be seamless. I love that idea. I love that idea. I need to think about it. I might run it by Owen too, because he's the one who came up with our app. It's a great idea. Your $5 just got used for a mom with a stroller. Your $5 just got used
boom.
at,
How cool would it be to know,
yeah, that's
hey,
cute.
I love that you, because I thought of that, the coffee. I was like, that's cool. I mean, I'll take the $5. Like, that's fine. But I would really rather somebody else that really could use that have that,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And let y'all, the coffee shopper, and you're, easy, like, let
Yeah.
you decide. Like, or if
Right.
I say it needs to go to this particular but then, yeah, to know, and that's what so
I
I
wonder
actually,
too. So, like, somebody turns in, their 10 stamped out card, they can get a free yogurt, or Easy Breezy will donate $5 to the San Francisco Youth Little League Fund.
I like the fact that that it could be given to another customer. And the reason I
Yeah.
like it better, like, I go to the grocery store
Personal.
now and you're checking out. It's like, hey, do you want to round up to some charity? And I'm always like, I'm sure, but I don't even know who
I
that
don't
charity
know that you're
is.
giving. How do I know you're
Like,
giving that? Yeah.
how much of that money is going to go to pay the CEO of that charity, and like, whatever board? It's like, this is going to go, because think about this. This is, you tell them, like, this is going to go to another customer. We're going to pick it's going to be somebody here. And then you've got this cool vibe and campaign going where it's like neighbors supporting neighbors, and, people
Buying each other
offering up,
yogurt.
like,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
cute.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
I love the idea of letting them know too, because when I go to this, because I was in, this was a coffee shop in a different town, I saw, but I will go in there, and when I have cash on me, which isn't always, but I will literally give them $5. And I'm like, and all the baristas that work there, I mean, I go there all the time, so they know me, they know what this is all about. I'm like, here's my pay it forward money for a day. And their like task is, and I always just say, you pick, like, I don't care who you use it for, you'll know. And I say, all I want to know, all I want out of this is the next time you see me in here, tell me who you used it on, right? Like, I just want to know the
Right.
story.
Yeah.
And they'll
It'd be
be
nice
like,
to
oh,
know. Right.
this mom came in and
Short money, and she was flustered and made
she
her
was
day.
flustered. She had a stroller with a
Totally.
screaming baby and a toddler running around, and she was
Yeah.
like so stressed out. And we bought her coffee
Yeah.
and her day. Holy cow. Now, the reason I think this is so cool is, whether it's a coffee shop or a yogurt shop, or maybe it's a brewery where somebody gets their the thing is, like, we culturally, I'll get like, high level philosophical right now. Like, we do want nostalgic Americana. We're missing something, and we want to feel connected to our community in meaningful ways. And we want positive interactions to happen, and people will pay it forward if you nudge them to do that, or remind them, like, hey, would you, like, most people aren't thinking about that. Most people aren't going to walk in and go, hey, here's $5, use it on somebody. Like, I do it because I'm like completely obsessed with it, but I'm weird and like it's my thing. But like, people, when you go, hey, you got loyalty points, you want to use them on your purchase today, or would you like to pay it forward? The immediate question is, what do you mean? And now you have this cool thing to talk about with the customers. Like, now that's awesome. And then that's another, I think that's another thing that creates this like word of mouth. Like, dude, do you know what this place is doing? It's so cool. I got to pay it forward.
Today. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'll throw that out there. Just
Yeah, that's cute.
very,
I like it.
very
I like it. Let me
creative
think
and
about it,
sharp.
because it have to be seamless. It can't stop up the line. It's gotta work well with operations. But we're doing the loyalty program, so yeah,
Yeah,
I like the thought. I like it a lot. There's just more community, right?
that's right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned him as the loyalty. Are there any other businesses? You mentioned what is the name of your the local farm where you get your milk products from? I know you
Well,
have
we
one.
work with Scott Brothers Dairy in Chino, and then we have a producer at that dairy, the Socially Responsible Food Group, that produces our. Because Scott Brothers does a lot of dairy for a lot of different producers. Socially Responsible, that's our food group, does our bases working at Scott Brothers Dairy. Another very important piece of software that we use, something called Schedule Fly. Perhaps you've heard of it.
No, I wasn't fishing for that. You don't need to
I
do
know,
that.
but I can tell you that's like when people ask me what are the tools that make your life the easiest. Schedule Fly is top of the list.
Uh,
The scheduling is the most complicated part of this business beyond just the yogurt and the day-to-day operations. People don't realize how complicated scheduling is. And as soon as somebody's trying to build a calendaring feature or an app into the rest of their software, the answer is no. I mean, I've had my POS provider on more than one occasion try and get me to use their scheduling software. And unless you are focused on scheduling software, people don't understand just how complex it is. So that's obviously a big piece for us. Not trying
uh,
to pander to you, but that's it's
I,
that
I'll take it. I mean, I appreciate that. It is something I think that people think is just this thing you can do, but there's so much. If you really want to build a good schedule and you want to honor when your team wants to work and when to have the right people on at the right time.
flexibility. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. There's nothing cookie cutter about any of that. Our shift hours change. We need to color code. We need to be calling out different stores. I need different views. So yeah, Schedulify is a big part of our operations. Trying to think we have a really great texting platform called Owner Listens. And so I have a different phone number that only works by text for each of the stores. And so when and we have signs all over the store, how is the service today? Is the bathroom clean? Text us if it's dirty. And each store has their own phone number. And so when somebody texts in on that number, I know it's coming from a specific store. And it goes to both email and text, and it comes to both me and my GM. So one of us can answer right away. But that's how we communicate with our customers.
What is it called?
It's called Owner Listens.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's just a simple texting platform. No bells and whistles, no pictures, no nothing. It's just texting, but it's a really, really, that's a big one for us too. We use that every day. Um,
Do you go respond like to Google reviews?
yeah. Not as soon as they come in, but we'll go through. We do our best to respond to all Google and Yelp. But thanks for the nice review. Mostly they're good, but if they're not good, then we'll reach out individually, offer a free yogurt voucher in hopes of keeping their business. Can you tell me what time this happened? We take stuff like this very serious. I'm really sorry the toppings bar was dirty. Let me know what day and time you come in so we can discipline our staff appropriately. Don't worry, nobody's getting fired, but we do take stuff like this very seriously as a learning opportunity. Yeah, we're not every day, but we'll be in there once a week and just kind of respond to them en masse.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Well,
Our POS provider, Rebel, that we use that obviously every day. We've been really happy with Rebel. But they just got bought by Shift4, so we'll see how that change goes. But the big ones we use are Schedule Fly, of course, and Owner Listens for texting. Um, yeah, those are the big ones. Email and texting, of course, but yeah, those are the big ones in Rebel.
okay. Um, I want to respect your time. I think you're such a fascinating lady. I love your story. I love your energy. I am grateful to. I wish y'all were here. Your next stop is Southern California, but I guess that
Yeah.
it does give me to one final question is, okay, so let's say you go to Southern California and you move down there, you open 10, 12 stores down there, or whatever.
Right.
Like,
Now I've proved I can work regionally. Then it would make sense to actually raise money, sell equity in the business, which I haven't done till to date, to roll it out nationally. But now it looks different then, right? Like you said, I mean, you're going to lose something. Look, my favorite businesses are See's Candy and Starbucks because they're both privately held and you have a consistent experience every time you walk into one of those stores. So it is possible to roll out nationally without going kind of that public route, but you know, something is lost, right? I don't get to be in every store every week when you do something like that. And that changes the vibe.
well, the question is, do you do it through a corporate rollout? Do you franchise?
Right.
And so many brands like yours wind up franchising.
No, I'm not gonna franchise.
Why is that?
because you lose too much in quality. Again, See's Candy, Starbucks never franchised. Starbucks started a franchise, they rolled it back because then my job becomes finding people who want to become franchisees and then managing those people to maintain the quality, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, why do you have white cups? Well, they're cheaper than the branded cups. Whatever it is, you're always managing quality. I think you take a big quality. I'm not saying there's not successful franchises out there, but that's what I want my job to be, is marketing to franchisees and managing them. I don't have any experience running an organization like that. Certainly business is set up. If somebody came in for I guess the right price, wanted to buy all a piece of Breezy and roll it out as a franchise, it's certainly set up to do that. Every shop is set to scale. But that's not what I see in the future of the business, at least not at present. At least not at present.
Yeah.
But it could
Well,
certainly be rolled out nationally. I need to prove that regionality, and then the next step would be to get investment and roll it out. Well, what's the yogurt scene in North Carolina? What do you guys have out there?
I mean, we don't have anything that I know of that's local and organic and fresh and high end and high quality. I mean, we have all the ones that, you would think we have.
Yeah. But look, Chipotle rolled out national, and they're using fresh ingredients from local farmers. It absolutely can be done. It absolutely can be done.
Yes, it can. Um, I'll be interested. We'll have you back on, maybe in
Yeah.
a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
How many years is your son, have left?
He's gonna be a junior, so he's got 2 more years. He's got 2 more years in high school, which is I'm not gonna have money to open new. I'm opening 2 right now, so it's gonna take me that much to save up for the next round anyway. Um, so yeah, probably in 3 years would be when I would take it down south. I'm not dying to live down there, but I'd move down there for a little while to roll it out and then see where it goes.
Congratulations on being able to do this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, you're in a tough business environment out there in California. I mean, you don't have a lot of favors done for you in terms of like
Oh my God, tell me about
labor
it.
laws and, all the stuff that comes along with that. So if you can make it work out there and grow it like that, Ari,
That's the thing. If I can make it work here,
I mean, I can tell you right now, you could take that model and bring it to the Southeast where, hey, look, the demographics work and I mean,
yeah.
people are moving to the Southeast and
Yeah,
really,
people care as much about quality food for their families there as they do here. We didn't write, we don't have a lock on that.
yeah. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
People get quality and people get a good experience. Doesn't matter where you are in America. So
Yep.
that's what we roll out, right?
Yep. Amen. I love
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. That's exactly right. Well,
Thank
listen,
you, Will. This has been great.
this has been awesome. I appreciate the time. Do me a favor, uh, whether it's on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Ari, go give us a 5 stars. And because
Sure.
more ratings we get, just like, the more ratings
Right.
we
And
get,
when the episode airs, let me know because we'll promote it on our
promote on your
platforms.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy
Just,
to. And that'll get more listeners.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the
Yeah.
ratings, and all of you listening, give us a rating, give us a rating, give us a rating. I know you're like, somebody else will do it, but just be the one that does it. If you're listening,
Absolutely.
it gets it in front of more people. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Ari, thank you so much for the time. And, we'll have more episodes coming soon. We'll see you.
Thank you. Bye now.